Hi everyone, this is Dave from DailyTechTV with another Q&A session for you. Before I kick off this Q&A session, I just want to remind you of the shameless plug about my other channels, and I'll be posting links in this sort of area around about here. youtube.com/geekanoids, my main review channel. youtube.com/geekvlogs, where I talk about things that really annoy me, and youtube.com/iOS app TV. And that's a community-driven channel where if you want your iOS app review featured, you should really get in touch. So on with this Q&A session, and it's a similar sort of question to what I had in a previous Q&A, where people were asking me why I'd switch back to Canon. But this particular one is from Shaya Nijaz, and it is Canon Rebel T3i or the Nikon D5100. What do you recommend and why? Well, I hate to do this, but I have to sort of throw a question back at you, and I'm going to sort of extend the answer a little bit. You didn't really mention what you want the camera for. So, two different answers. If you want the camera for photography, then either of those particular models, the T3i, which I think is the same as the 60D in the UK, or the D5100 from Nikon. Either will take fantastic photos, lens selection, good on both cameras, and although I use a Canon, there are some really nice lenses in the Nikon range which certainly do interest me a little bit more than the Canon range. I wish like the Nikon lenses were available for Canon, but that's another story. If it was for video work, then again it's really difficult to recommend one over the other, but I chose the Canon 60D or the T3i because whilst you're doing video work you can actually manually adjust the audio levels, and that meant a lot to me, so that's why I switched back to Canon. When I'm recording myself, I set to manual focus on the point I want to focus on, set the audio levels accordingly. If I'm using a microphone on top of the camera, then I can adjust the audio levels and set things recording. With the Nikon D5100, I think you're limited to the audio levels. I think you've got low, medium or high, so you haven't got quite as much control. One thing the Nikon D5100 does do, although it doesn't do it sort of 100% correctly, is it does have continuous autofocus during video. So it will search for focus and you can move around and it'll autofocus whilst you're recording. But that does lead to additional problems in the fact that if you did move something closer to the camera and it focused and then you moved away, you will get this focus hunting, so it will like blur in and out of focus while it's searching for something to lock onto. So both have got their pros and cons. I chose the Canon purely because of the audio levels. If you want maybe that autofocus mode, then the Nikon might be the right choice. So, but in sort of summary, either of them will still produce great looking video. So my personal choice and recommendation would still be the Canon, but if you really fancy that Nikon, I don't think you'll be disappointed. So thanks very much for your question. I hope that's helped you in making your decision. If you've got any other photography or video related questions or anything at all to do with technology, leave your new questions in the comment section below this video, and I will see you all in the next one.